Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Smart Minds, Good Times. Today we have a very special guest, Cary. Say what's up.
Hey guys, what's up?
Your camera's right there. So how's your day going?
It's good. It's good. I just walked like 11 minutes to get here, so I'm currently burning up.
You're not in heels, are you?
I am in heels.
You walked 11 minutes in heels?
I'm always in heels.
Oh,
Anybody that knows me knows that I always dress up instead of dressing down.
Did you park like in Carytown?
Carytown,
Oh,
like
my
on
God.
Cary Street.
Yeah, no, there was parking here, but it's whatever. So
It's all good.
so you said you were born and raised here in Richmond, right?
Yeah, so my mom was going to name me Melissa. And
Melissa.
my dad was like, Melissa just ain't it.
Uh-huh.
And on his way to VCU, because I was born and raised in Richmond, he took Carytown to exit and was like, all right, Cary, spelled just like that.
Cary.
Just name her Cary. So I love it.
No, I got my name in a weird way.
How'd you get your name?
I was supposed to be named like I'm Mexican, right?
Uh-huh.
They were gonna name me like a really, really like Mexican
name.
like Alejandro, I think, or like Alejandro Carlos. I don't know.
I was gonna say Jose.
Yeah, something like that. And at the hospital, my dad's boss called him, and his name is Brian, so that's why they named me that. So I'm glad he called. If not, I would have been named like Alejandro. I was like, no.
Brian sounds better now.
Yeah. So what was life like growing up? Were you like you could say like poor? Did you guys have it nice or?
Okay. All right. I was actually talking about this with my friend today. So my parents I'm first generation.
Okay.
So my parents immigrated here from Guatemala.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're Hispanic. Both my parents are Hispanic. And we grew up in I don't want to say the ghetto because like it wasn't like super bad, but
Yeah.
like our neighbors did crack and like
Well, everybody does crack.
Yeah. Everybody does crack. And like everybody smoked weed. Now more
Yeah.
people smoke weed. And like we grew up in a trailer park and like we had the nicest trailer in the trailer park.
I
we
mean,
had that double wide.
That's like being the richest person in the poor neighborhood. It's kind of a compliment, I guess.
And my brother had like phone posits. So like he
Oh, yeah.
was kind of cool. Like $300 shoes. Like I wouldn't say we were broke, but
Yeah.
we definitely had everything we needed. My dad always worked really hard. My dad built like the American dream. You know, like you come here, you immigrate. He was like washing dishes up in New York City, making $2 an hour, and then now all of a sudden he's doing electrical work. He's got his electrical company. He has employees. He's making more than two. He's making good money. He's making good money. I don't want to say how much.
What's the name of his company called? Because I do electrical work.
For real?
Yeah.
Okay, so he is a staffing electrical company. They do commercial, like
Okay.
not so much residential. And the name of the company is Joe Racing Construction.
Joe Racing.
Yeah.
Okay, I actually have not heard of it. I work at Woodfin. I'm sure you've heard of it. Yeah, that's where I work.
That's cool. You like
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. I mean, I got there like literally during high school, so it's been good.
No. Okay.
Yeah, so
That's good. But we had a good life, but it wasn't until I kind of started to move out. Like my little brother, my parents just bought my little brother a BMW convertible.
damn.
Yeah.
How old is your little brother?
Like 17.
Oh, he's about my age.
You're 17?
I'm 18.
No way.
Yeah, I'm 18.
Get out.
Yeah.
Bro, you look like you're
Yo,
27.
why does everybody say that, bro? Everybody that comes out here thinks I'm an old ass man.
Because you look like an old ass
I
man.
remember somebody asked me if I had kids.
You look
like,
like
no.
you have kids.
Well,
Oh my gosh.
but
Okay.
yeah.
Well, congratulations to you.
Oh, thank you. But like, so brand new convertible?
Yeah, I don't want to say brand new, but like almost brand new. It had like very little mileage on it. So I look at him, I'm like, bro, you are spoiled. Like I'm the girl, and I'm the only girl, and I didn't
Yeah.
even get that. But
How many siblings do you have?
I have two. So I have a younger brother, and then I got a big brother, but we're very different.
Yeah,
Very different.
that's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
So, what's like a childhood memory or story you got that like you just won't
God.
forget? It could be funny, scary, a
Y'all,
fight,
I have so many. A fight? Oh my God.
anything. It's just some shit you won't forget.
I won't tell that one. That one's crazy. It literally made me look like a psycho. Let's see. Oh man. So I grew up with all boys. Like I have like 8 boy cousins, and I'm like the first girl.
Yeah.
And there's just we all do like dirt bikes. I've been cliff jumping. I've jumped off the plane. Like we've been skydiving.
skydiving?
Yeah, I've been skydiving on the
shit.
beach in Florida.
Oh,
We
damn.
did cliff jumping, like 50 feet cliff, like in the water. We go hiking, and all this with my family, mind you. Let's see, and we just ride dirt bikes. Like now, my cousins they do bike life. Are you familiar?
Bike life?
Yeah, it's like
I'm
in
not
the
sure what
city.
that is.
It's like a huge. Just look at bike life on YouTube.
Is that like motorcycles or that's
yeah,
like?
yeah,
Oh,
like
okay,
dirt
okay,
bikes, like riding on the streets. Like it's a lot of fun.
Okay.
But it's crazy and actually illegal. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I bet, but they ride it in groups, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they won't catch them then. That's how it goes.
Yeah, but they go down to like Miami. They go up to New York. Like they do a lot of things.
Is it like the street bikes or like the Harley Davidson bikes?
No, dirt bikes, street bikes, 4-wheelers.
Okay.
Some people have street bikes, more like dirt bikes and 4-wheelers. But yeah, But they do crazy things like the 12 o'clock where like they put the bike all the way up like.
Oh, okay, yeah, like the wheelies. Yeah.
They're kind of wild, but yeah, my family, we're all really close. You know, we're Hispanic. We're all really close. We got to see each other at least like once or twice every week. And we grew up with okay money. We weren't like super poor, but my parents had built the American dream. Now they're really well off. Now we go on vacation. My parents have a timeshare, so we go snowboarding every season.
You know, I had a coworker. He had a timeshare. He was telling me that's like it's like a ripoff in a way though.
I don't know. I mean,
they said it's real expensive.
It is pretty expensive.
But I mean, if you guys are well off, I'm sure it's not even a problem.
My dad.
Yeah, your dad. But
you guys is not. I don't live at home.
You know, you said you were the first to move out though, right?
I was the first to move out.
When did you move out?
Yeah, I didn't even know I said that. So my brothers actually still live at home. And I was the first to move out. I actually got married very young, and I moved out, and now I'm actually about to sell. We're about to sell, and I'm going to move out, buy my own place, and it's just me and my kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, so like, what was school life like for you? Were you the popular girl, troublemaker, class clown?
Yes, actually, this is so embarrassing. I hate like talking about myself like this. I was nominated to be prom queen. I played soccer. I played volleyball. I ran track. I actually had a scholarship for soccer. Let's see what else. I don't know. I was like president of FBLA. Are you familiar with FBLA?
FBLA, is that
Future Business Leaders of America?
Okay. I don't know if that's a compliment. Congratulations.
Yeah, I was pretty. I liked school. I was trying to get top 20. I wasn't top 20 in my class, but I did have a 4.3 GPA. Damn. I did take AP classes. I did pass one of my AP like exams, like, so forth. So. When I graduated with like all those chords because I was in like National Social Studies Honor Society, National Science Honor Society, National English Honor Society. I was in a bunch of stuff. I mean, damn, I like school. I did get in school.
That's so you like the scholar and the athlete? Well, I mean, look, at least you just listed like 5 different. I was lucky enough to graduate.
Hey, but I feel like my little cousin told me this the other day. Like I went to college. And I ended up in real estate. And she told me, I was telling her, I was like, she was applying for VC. I was like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this so late? Like, what's going on? Why did you drop the ball? Why didn't you want to go to school? Like, why aren't you choosing? And she legit, she was like, I don't mean to hurt your feelings, which she didn't. But like, she's like, you busted your butt. She's like, you busted your ass in school. Yeah. And you're not even using your degree.
What did you major in?
Like marketing, business admin, and I got my associates. I didn't even graduate.
Okay.
I didn't even,
you know, that's a lot of people go for that, like business.
It's just
marketing.
abroad.
Yeah,
it's just abroad. Yeah, you could. I mean, you could do a lot with it. You don't want to like.
You could do like accounting and stuff with it, or that's a whole.
Yeah, you can.
Right?
You can. You don't have an accounting. You don't have to have an accounting degree to like do accounting. Like you could have like a business marketing degree.
Something financially.
Yeah, something financial. Yeah. I mean, you could even do something in like mathematics, like major in mathematics.
Associate, that's just 2 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that VCU?
No, so I went to University of South Carolina, and I did online because I was when COVID happened. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I went to USC.
So how old are you?
22.
22. Okay.
Turned 23 in 2 months, y'all. Exactly 2 months because today's the 26th, right? 27.
Yeah, 26.
Yeah.
So
like
how did you go about like getting into real estate?
Oh my gosh. Okay. What motivated me to get into real estate?
Just how did you come across the idea? What made you actually want to pursue it?
All right, so I was like 18 years old. I just graduated, moved out, moved to South Carolina. So
wait,
7
you moved out at 18?
I moved out at 18. I got married at 18. I moved to South Carolina. Yeah, that's crazy, right? Wait, you like never hear that.
How? Yeah, wait. What? I mean, I don't want to talk your personal life, but like, what made you want to commit at 18? Because that's a big commitment.
Can we do that little sound thing where you like make a thing right now? It is a big commitment.
You good? Look, we'll move away from that.
Okay.
My handwriting is bad, so if you can't read it, I'll read it.
Where would you go if you had a time machine?
Oh, that's a good one. Anywhere.
If I had a time machine? Lord. God, that's such a hard question. I'd go back to the time I was 18.
To not get married?
No. I'd go back to the time I was 18 and I'd reconsider. Like, I feel like I was forced to grow up so quickly in everything. And I mean, in everything. I mean, like when I'm the middle child, but I am the oldest sibling, like at heart. Yeah. I still take care of my little brother. I mean, I'm literally my little brother so much. And so just like playing that role and being the only girl and then like taking care of my cousins and like, but theoretically, if I could go back and I had my time machine, I'd go back to like July 2nd. Yeah, I go back July 2nd of, what year are we in? 2024, 2022. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why exactly that day and time?
I would like, knowing what I know now, I'd get to know what I know now and go back to that day. I'd stop something really bad from happening.
Okay. Well, that's personal, but.
Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah. So what were we talking about? Oh, yeah. So
real estate. What we got into?
Yeah, real estate. We'll move away from the marriage.
All right, y'all. So I got into real estate because I moved out really early, and I was in school, and I was like I was doing psychology, and I thought I wanted to like work with kids who are autistic, and I had a job doing that, and I loved it, but it was very draining. Yeah. And I realized like, okay, I'm making $12 an hour. Like, it wasn't even enough. I wasn't getting enough hours, and I'm a very expensive taste, like very expensive taste. And I decided, I was like, this isn't really what I want to do. I was making an impact, but I would like cry about it. So I was like, this isn't good. Like, I wanted to make an impact and feel good, not like be drained. So I got into real estate. I got into car sales.
Okay.
Like, and you can get into car salesman. And I recommend it for literally like anyone.
Really?
Yes. I 110% recommend becoming a
salesman. Were there
months
like you didn't make money at all?
No, I made really good money. I was 18 years old, 19 years old. I think when I was 20, I think I was making like almost, I got pregnant earlier as well, and that was planned. But oh my gosh, I think when that year I was expected to make like $120,000, and I was like 18, 19, 20 years old.
Yeah,
yeah. Like I had like
and that
months
was during COVID, right?
Yeah, during COVID, I had months where I was like making. I think my last month, right before I left having the baby, because I worked up until pregnancy because I wanted to. I liked it. I loved it. I made like $18,000
in 1 month.
In 1 month.
Damn.
Yeah, it's good money. That's why I'm like. I think people think like car sales is like, oh, it's car sales.
But
I mean, money is money.
But I always think like, car sales will slow down because a lot of people like going like online instead now.
I mean, yeah, but you're selling something tangible, like something you can touch. Like, you're selling features, you're selling heated seats, you're selling this. Like, people want that. Like, you could do the payment stuff online. Like, they'll look online, but ultimately they're not going to drive a car without driving. You're not going to buy a car without driving it.
That makes sense.
And then you sell it.
What dealership did you work at?
So I worked at Vaden and Buford in South Carolina.
What like car maker?
Okay, so I sold GMC, Chevy, and Buick, and then like we had a used car lot, so we sold everything that was like Toyota, all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah. But you had to know like the features. Like, I never sold like a Corvette, but I always like practice selling a Corvette because I wanted to sell like a C8.
Yeah, and then like that's a lot more commission on that, right?
Yeah. Like, I think the biggest commission I ever made on a sale, I think, was like $4,200 on a truck.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, imagine making $4,200 on a sale, one sale.
Yeah, that's a lot.
At like 18, 19 years old.
Yo, and at 18, 19, you're rich. Like, that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But, what's something like most people don't really know about real estate? Something like me, like actually, I have a question I'll ask before that. Like, after you, like, stop working as a car salesman, how long did it take for you to get into real estate?
Like, okay, so I was like nine months pregnant when I stopped. I was literally like I was 8 months, and it was my last month, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go back home. I'm gonna go have my kids. Like, we're moving back home. My husband's getting out of the military. We're coming back home. I had my baby, and then like 2 weeks later, I interviewed with a broker. Like, I had my baby, and then within 2 weeks, put on heels and went to go for an interview.
Were you studying before? Or?
Yeah, I was studying while I was at the dealership, and then I came back home, studied, and took the test.
Yeah.
So it took me like a month. Sometimes it takes people like 3 months. So if you're looking into getting into real estate, it takes you about 3 months, and you should have like $5,000 saved up.
Okay, and I saw you work for the realtor that's in your Instagram bio, right? It's
yeah, Nicole Reed Real Estate. Yeah, that's a team that we're on. So Nicole Reed Real Estate is a team that I'm on, and we're actually have a reality TV show called Selling Richmond.
You guys have a reality show?
Yeah.
Like, does it air like on TV?
Yeah, it's on TV.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah.
Dang, are you on Insta?
Am I on Insta?
Yeah. No, are you like on it, like on the show?
So I don't have an episode myself because I came onto the team later on, but I do think that one of my clients' like listings will be on. Okay. One of my listings, that is my clients, will be on TV show. Yeah.
Yo, who runs that show? I gotta have him on here.
Nicole.
Yeah, okay, Nicole.
And I got you.
Yeah, I'll have her on here. That's crazy. I didn't know that. But what's something like the average person like me wouldn't know about real estate?
Okay, so I think a lot of people, especially, I think this will probably speak to your platform, but I think a lot of people are always like, I want to get into real estate, or real estate is so much money, and like it's good money. And the reality is like it is, but the success rate is so little. Yeah. So if 100 real estate agents were to get into the industry tomorrow, 85% of them would fail within 2 years. Like they drop out, they'd quit, or they would sell one house or sell no houses or make $0. They'd fail.
You know, oh my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
And then after 5 years, it goes up higher. So if 100 joined tomorrow, in 5 years from now, 90% of them would be out of the industry. That's crazy. Years. Yeah. And then if you Google it, because people are like, "Oh, you're a real estate agent, you make bank." If you Google what the average real estate agent makes in the Virginia area, it's like 40 grand, 45,000, which is essentially what a teacher makes.
You know, you said like 85% fail. I will have a question because like nowadays interest rates are so high. They're like, are they like 7%?
Yeah, so we're at 6 now. We're 6 now,
okay.
and they're actually expected to go down in like May, June. So the market's gonna get crazy in May and June.
So when interest rates were like at 7, were people not like selling a lot of houses? Were a lot of like realtors like slowing down or going out of business?
People came out of the industry, man. I don't know what the exact rate is for the real estate agents, but I just know like lenders, like you know how like in 2020 and COVID was going on, all these people, the rates are so low because the Federal Reserve was low, like lending for lower. So all these lenders were making bank. Like even lenders that I knew on TikTok that were like TikTok famous, they were like doing so good, and then all of a sudden you don't see them anymore. I didn't see them, and then they tell you like business got bad. 60% of lenders left the industry. 60%. Yeah, like it was crazy. So I mean, whenever there's a drought, you know, or dry season, like you see the reality of everything.
COVID, real estate wise, was COVID a booming?
Yeah, booming was COVID was. I mean, you saw like the bidding wars. Everybody going 50K over asking, 100K over asking. You're starting to see it a little bit right now. Like I have a friend in Southern California, in Sacramento. Sorry. And he was telling me he was just talking to him on the phone the other night, and he was like, "Yo, is because I'm with EXP, and EXP is like worldwide."
Okay, so so you sell houses like internationally? You
can 100%. So if I wanted to go to Guatemala and get my license in Guatemala, I could sell in Guatemala.
Okay,
which is dope. That's a goal. That'd be so cool. But anyways, he was telling me, he was like, "Yo, we have all these offers on all these houses right now. How is Virginia? Because like Cali is blowing up."
Oh, yeah, but Cali, yo, 1 bedroom, 1 bath is like $1 million, right?
Yeah, certain areas. Yeah. Certain areas. So Sacramento, the average sales price is like, I think, $400 or $500.
And that's like a small house, right?
Yeah, that's like an average house. Here in Virginia, the average sales price is $347 right now.
That's I guess that's not too bad compared to other places.
Not too shabby, yeah.
It used to be a lot less, though.
It used to be a lot less. Like in Petersburg, you could get houses that were like $20,000. You can't do that no more.
Because I think my parents' house, like they paid like $260, and that thing's like at $400.
When they buy?
They bought summer of 2017, I think 2017.
Okay.
Yeah, 2017.
Okay.
And it's like well, I'm not gonna leak my address, but it's like it's in Branderville area.
Shows up at your parents'
it's in Branderville area.
Okay, yeah, Branderville's good. And you know, like Chesterfield, Branderville area, they're about to start, like there's a lot of development. So
there's literally one happening right by my house. You know where like off of Whole Street and Genital, there's like a
Yep.
You know how?
Do you know what they're building?
No, I don't.
Right where that soccer field is, the soccer fields are? No? By
River City?
Yeah. They're gonna build like a huge like a Great Wolf Lodge, essentially, like a resort, like a water park resort. Really? Yeah. It's coming like 2025, they'll start building.
Oh, I didn't know that. But they're doing construction literally like right by my house though, like literally where the Walgreens and the Burger King is.
Yeah.
There's something else going on there, brand new. It looks like a small apartment complex. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, God, there's so much development going on. It's not even crazy. And I'll tell you this, since you're Hispanic, so I went to this Hispanic Wealth Project up in D.C. It's like this huge project about like Hispanics and building wealth and so forth.
Wait, is it like a convention?
Essentially, kind of, yeah.
Okay, because I know they do like a business convention like yearly or something for Hispanic businesses. It may be that one. I'm not sure.
It's like they have a lot of events. It's like a yearly thing. You got to pay into it. You got to be a member and be part of it. But like, you're Hispanics, I'll tell you this, but like 47% of construction workers are Hispanic. And do you know what a developer is?
Developer? Is he like a construction role?
A developer is like someone who develops land. So like you buy land and you build apartments, or you build a condominium complex, or like a neighborhood, or whatever it is that you build. You're developing land.
Yeah.
It could be commercial, it could be residential. And so 47% of construction workers are Hispanic, and then less than 0.5% are Hispanic developers. That shit's crazy.
No, I mean that's believable though, because you go past construction site, you'll just see straight primos, you know? Like, I swear to God, like, like it's very rare, and it's always the, you know, no offense, but like the white guy like running the show, you know?
Right.
But like they always got like the clipboard, like, and telling people what to do. But that's how it goes.
Yeah, that's how it is.
You know, I don't know why in the Hispanic community that's like the thing they push. Like that's the go-to route.
What do you think it is? What do you think it is that like?
I had like, what makes someone pursue that?
No, but like, why do you think that there's not more Hispanic developers? Like, I feel like I personally feel, and I was literally telling somebody this today. I was talking to one of my friends. She's Hispanic, and she's like, I want to get into real estate. And I was like, bro, hustling is like in your blood. Like, you just can't. Like, it's in your blood. Like, your parents didn't immigrate here for you to be normal, to be standard, to be a 9-to-5er. Like, you gotta build. You see that thing where people are like, I didn't come from a rich family, so rich family must come from me. Like that. That mentality.
This is the one thing I have said on here a couple times now. The one thing that pisses me off. And it happens a lot in the Hispanic community. Okay. Especially here in the Richmond area. Okay. But tell me now, there's a lot of first gen like Latinos that would just completely throw away the parent sacrifice, just do drugs, be like thugs, I guess.
I think it's cool. I don't know.
Yeah. And it's always one thing that pisses me off, because I think about it like, you have to, I guess they don't respect what their parents did to come here. Mm-hmm. They may know what they did, but they don't understand it. Because like when my parents told me their story, I'm like, damn. And everything they had to go through and stuff. And like their situation. It's heavy. And their situation, I don't know how it was for your parents, but 2008, my parents had it pretty bad. Yeah. Like, they went bankrupt and stuff.
Yeah, that's tough. That's heavy.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
It is.
I mean, so many people did too, but like you got to, like, it's, gosh, it's hard. And I think about like and I sometimes like growing up, I wasn't even known by Cary. Like people didn't know me by name. They were just like Joe's daughter, Joe's daughter, Joe's daughter. So it's like, shit.
You know, how do you pronounce your last name? Is it Riddenauer? Or?
Riddenauer.
Riddenauer. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not German, is it?
I think so. Yeah.
It sounds German.
Yeah. My husband's white.
Okay.
We didn't marry
Hispanic. Oh, so that's not what's your last name? Like your blood last name?
Córdoba. Córdoba.
Córdoba. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that one before. But
I think that one actually is German, because my dad's grandparents immigrated from Germany during World War I in Guatemala.
Okay. You know, like in the real estate market, what do you guys use to like track the market? Because I know like in the stock market, you know, you got index funds and stuff. Mm-hmm. But like in the real estate, how do you like go about like, is it the interest rates or?
What are we using to track the market? So as agents, I'm listening to like what the Federal Reserve is saying. Are they gonna raise rates? Are they gonna lower rates? Because you know when the rates are lower, people come into the market, right? So I'm looking at what the Federal Reserve is saying when they meet. But then I'm also looking at like supply and demand, because that obviously has everything to do with like people coming into the market. And we still have such an inventory shortage. Like there's so many buyers out there, and there's just not enough houses.
So for the real estate agents, do you guys look at the CPIs they do? The Federal Reserve. You know how like they'll.
Me personally, I haven't. I'm sure there's people who have. I don't really look at it. I count on like the professional. I count on like a lender who's a professional to give me like, hey, Federal Reserve met. Here's what I intake. Here's what I entail, because like that's their industry. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not a lender. I'm not going to give you lending advice. I'm going to give you negotiation advice. You know, so forth. Real estate advice. But yeah.
So like your boss, you said her name was
Nicole.
Nicole. So.
She's definitely the boss. So I mean, people literally call her the boss.
Is it like, how do you go? I know like, because there's different realtors inside of like, I guess like your company, y'all's company. How do you go about like getting? Is it like they give sales to you, or do you have to go out and get your own sales? How does that go?
No. Okay, so when you're on a team, so I'm on a team, right? You can be independent or you can be on a team. And so a lot of people that get into real estate don't know this. They just think like, oh, it's so much money. You're making 3%. You're making $9,000 off of a $300,000 house or whatever. Yeah. It's like, no, I have to pay MLS fees. I got to pay my broker split. I got to pay my team leader. I got to pay my desk fees.
Taxes?
I got to pay taxes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's a way around that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much you have to pay. So when you're on a team, you can essentially give 50% of your profit or 40% of your split of what you would get, your commission, to your team leader, and they give you the client. So the team leader, Nicole, in this instant, would buy these leads from Zillow or Realtor.com or, bait click leads where they call in, and then you work them. You're her feet on the ground. You're her boot on the ground. You're like, all right, I can show you this house. I can show you 123 Main Street. Yeah, I can go tomorrow at 3:00. You convert them.
You guys have like a success rate y'all need to like.
You typically like at least the company that I was at too, like if you're taking all these leads, but you can't close them and you're not converting them and they're paying money for each lead. Sometimes leads are $300 per number depending on the area because leads in Short Pump are more expensive than leads in Petersburg.
Well, Short Pump and Inner Richmond is crazy. It's crazy. There's some houses I've been to like for work and like literally just because of Richmond, it'll be like $1 million houses, like suburb houses, like Brandermill. Yeah, that same house in down like Richmond area is like $1 million. It's crazy.
Location. That's what they say. It's the one thing you can't change about the property. Yeah. So like where you live is something you can't settle for.
Yeah, you heard of? I don't know if what's like your work area? Do you work just like Chesterfield mainly or Richmond?
Man, I love Richmond. Yeah, I literally love Richmond. I was just walking and I was like, I would still live here. Like I'm such a city girl.
Really?
Yes, but I live in the country.
Oh, like Amelia? Powhatan. Yeah. You know, have you heard of I was working at like.
I appreciate both, but yeah.
I like the suburbs a lot.
Okay. But like, what do you like about it?
It's just a lot more calm. Like I couldn't do the city life. I like being able to like drive to a Walmart, drive to this, drive to that, not having to like walk or being too crowded. I don't know. I don't like the traffic.
I'm such a people person, man. I'll talk to anybody. Yeah. So I'm just like, I'll talk to the person like I'll talk to the person that's behind me in line. I'll talk to the person in front of me in line. Like, I love the idea of like stepping out and walking somewhere, or like stepping out to have breakfast.
Luckily,
like,
Richmond is like it's very like I don't know, like a welcoming inner city. Like everybody's like kind of like friendly or social here. Yeah, but if it's like New York, people will tell you to fuck off.
Yeah, no. I don't think I could do that. That's too much. I think the most city I could do is like DC. I like DC. DC is. I love DC because there's so much culture. You got to think like the nation's capital. You know Matt Rife.
Matt Rife, the comedian?
Yes, I went to go see him in D.C.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that was his first, like, I went to his first Netflix show.
Oh, his special?
Was in D.C. Yeah. That was crazy.
Have you gone to see Theo Vaughn?
No, yeah.
He's coming on literally in less than a week. We're going to go see him.
Where? At Funny Bone?
No, Charlottesville. I forget what the arena's called or something, but.
Are the tickets still available?
I think so.
Because I might go. I love a good comedy
Theo Vaughn is funny. You know Fluffy?
No.
You don't know?
No.
You don't know him?
If I see him, I might know him because it sounds.
He's
so
a Mexican
familiar.
Comedian.
Oh wait, yes, I do know him. I do know him. He has like brown hair, right?
He's real fat. Look, I know you've seen him. No, you're not Mexican, but if you're Hispanic, you gotta know Fluffy.
No, don't do that. Don't be like that when everybody's like, "Are you Mexican?" Because you're Hispanic.
Yeah, everybody does that. Look, this guy.
Oh, I do know him. Yes, he's coming.
Yeah. He's coming.
You're going?
Early March. I've already gone to see him. I might go this time. I was trying to get him on here, but he's too rich to come here, probably. But
start a GoFundMe.
Yeah. Have you heard of an area like I was working in this really rich neighborhood? I don't remember where it's at, but Chestnut Landing.
Chestnut Landing.
Have you ever done like any work there?
No. So that's where we're getting to that. So the whole essentially, selling Richmond is like luxury development, luxury property. So right now, like 90% of my business is investors, especially Spanish investors, because like I want to serve the underserved community. That's always been the goal. That's always been my heart. Like, yeah, money's great, but like purpose is greater. You know, like the reason you lay your head down is not for money. It's your purpose. Like, what's your passion? What's your purpose? So 90% of my clients are like, you know, they'll make $90K on a house. They'll make $25K on a house. They'll flip it. They'll rent it out. They'll burn it, whatever it be. But 90% of my business is Spanish investors, off-market deals, like straight negotiation.
Wait, so how do off-market deals work?
Off-market deals are like, you heard of wholesaling?
Yeah. So
everybody wants to be a wholesaler, same way everybody wants to be a licensed agent. Yeah. The only thing with wholesaling is you don't have to have a license. You don't. It's like completely legal. And people think like you have to have the money. Like you do not have to have the money to start this stuff.
So you don't. How hard is it to get into it? Because a lot of people like the social media gurus push it a lot and stuff.
I'm telling you, it's not hard to get into it. It is not hard. What is hard is to like, you as an agent, as a real estate agent, and as a wholesaler, you are starting your own company. Like people are like, "Oh, being a real estate agent is so hard." It's like, well, you made the decision to become a 1099. Like you made the decision to start your company. Like you are starting your company. You're serving somebody. You're serving a service of selling something. So it's not hard. The task itself, like it's not hard. It just takes the right personality and the right mindset.
Because like you gotta, if it's wholesaling is like off market, so you gotta personally know the person that wants to sell a house and get them to.
You can just call them. You know, there's so many. Right? You could cold call, but like some people aren't even cold calling anymore.
What do they do?
They're not even cold calling. They'll probably like just pay for leads the same way like a real estate agent would pay for leads. Like they'll just pay for leads. So they're getting calls in instead of like outbounding calls.
I got a friend who does
wholesaling. Or
mailing.
Yeah.
And he just moved down to Tampa. Like, I guess him and his friends, like, yeah, I guess his parents have money too, but he's a hustler. He's a hustler though, so like he's getting it on his own. But
I literally can't even say anything because I bought a flip in Richmond. I'm flipping a house in Northside, and my dad gave me the money to do it. I mean, some of mine, but some of my dad's.
But like, I'm sure like
majority of my dad's.
It's like an investment. Like you get back his investment, you keep like
100%. I'm even gonna pay him on the money he lended me, even though he's not asking for it. But I am because that's business. If I'm in this to make money, like you have to make money.
You know, like so. You said you moved out at 18, so like, did you buy your first house?
Yeah, we bought our first house.
So like, what was like, you already knew about real estate at the time, right?
No.
So like, look, going back now,
very little.
Going back now, right? You could go back and give yourself like something you wish you knew before you buy your first house. What would you like want to know?
I would 100% hire the right agent, and like because there's so many people that just want to become an agent, and it is not hard to do so, but you don't know what you don't know. Like, okay, would you go buy a house right now if I told you this house was priced for $300,000, you go buy it. You're like, this is so cute. I love it. I think it's so cute. It has a fenced in backyard. Like, I like it. I want to buy this house. I want to put in an offer. And you're like, yeah, they're asking $300,000. So like, I mean, I kind of want to negotiate. Let's negotiate like $290. Tell them $290. But reality, that house is worth like $250 and they overpriced it. But your agent didn't run the comps to tell you it was overpriced, or maybe it's worth $350 and then you don't get it because the seller knows it's worth $350 and you're already getting a good deal at $300. Like, the agent you hire does matter so much more than like outside of their personality and you liking the person. It's like, are they knowledgeable? Are they telling you facts?
But better question: let's say if I'm me, don't know really much about real estate, how do I know how to find the right agent? Like, what are some like red flags or green flags?
So I'm more of like, I don't want to say, I'm a newer agent, and I don't want to say like, because eventually people are like, I want an experienced agent. Well, you could be 20 years in the industry and have made $40,000 and sell one house a year. You see what I'm saying? Like, or you could be an agent whose sales volume is over 5 million and you're crushing it and you have 16 plus transactions and you know what the hell you're doing and it's been 6 months.
So like in that case, like quality over quantity.
Quality over quantity and like asking them the right questions. Like maybe, I mean, Google everything, right? Like like, what should my agent know? What should I be asking the agent? Like, make sure, like, again, I guess one of my bonuses is like born and raised in Richmond, Virginia. Like, I know the counties. I literally lived in every single county. Like, almost, I lived in Powhatan. I lived in Chester. I've lived in Chesterfield. I lived in Henrico. I lived in Sandston. We lived
so
everywhere.
If you don't mind me asking, how come you guys moved around so much?
Oh, God. My parents didn't have a social. I mean, still to this day, they don't. Like, they didn't have social. So, like, we couldn't really buy a house because of whatever rent was. Or sometimes we moved in with somebody, Hispanics, they like all live together.
So, like, let's say if somebody like that didn't have socials came up to you and wanted to buy a house, is that possible? Or?
Yes, you can 110% buy a house with an ITIN number.
Okay.
And an LLC.
Okay, so it's like there's no like illegal. It's not like a legal thing. You have to work a way around it.
No, it's 10 times harder, and you got to have more cash. You got to have more dinero, plata, to buy a house with an ITIN. But you can 100% do it. But I would 110% buy my house before I pay my own mortgage before I pay somebody else's mortgage.
What do you mean by that?
When you rent, you're paying that person's mortgage. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not just pay your own? Like, find a way to qualify. I think you don't know what you don't know, you know?
Yeah.
But there's so much social media content out there now on wholesaling, on real estate agents and all this stuff. And I think people just need to put out the right content.
A lot of content is pretty misleading.
Like, it is.
One thing, let me get your thoughts on this. Like, one thing they say a lot is like, I don't know, like use your FHA to get like a duplex and then rent one side out. Is that like a legit thing?
Yes, that's actually a legit thing you can do. What I would have taken with that information is like, I would have found a lender near me and I would have sent that video to the lender and I was like, can you tell me all their underlinings? You know what I'm saying? But like, that's exactly what I would have done.
It's probably easier said than done because how hard is it to find a duplex now?
It's not that hard.
Really?
It's not that hard.
And it's not expensive?
No, it's not that hard.
How much do you think like an average duplex, I don't know, like out, not Richmond area, but like outer skirts?
And like Petersburg, you definitely find. And I'm telling you,
but who wants to live in Petersburg though?
Hey, don't be hating on Petersburg. Listen, I think the number one place to invest is places that aren't already invested in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like places that are being gentrified. Like think about Churchill. Like my brother tells me, he's like, Churchill's the ghetto. I was like, no, it's not.
You know, and one thing about Petersburg, I think the casino they want to build here, they're gonna put in Petersburg,
The casino
right?
they were going to put in Richmond, Virginia, and Richmond said no. They're literally putting in Petersburg. They're putting a train station in Petersburg. They've got downtown Petersburg. I went to downtown Petersburg the other day. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cute and like nostalgic and like aesthetic.
I never go to Petersburg. So,
It's missing out. One of my favorite coffee shops is in Petersburg. I don't really. I like to say I'm safe, but then I'm like,
I mean, not really.
But it wasn't dark. It was fine. Okay. One of your questions was like one of the scariest times that you like, or one of the scariest houses or something. That you had to show or
like
something.
a haunted like story behind it or something.
Okay, not like haunted, but this was actually crazy. I almost like pulled out my gun on somebody, which was ridiculous. Yes.
What the fuck?
Yes.
All right, let me hear this.
All right, so I'm like 8 months pregnant, again, working until I pop because I just love what I do, love working. And my bladder was so bad, and I already had to pee. Like, I had to pee. And I don't know if that's ladylike to say, but that's what we're going to say. I had to pee. Okay, and I'm showing an off-market, like, investment property to, like, one of my clients, Spanish investor. Okay, and I'm literally walking out because I'm like, oh, my God, I got to pee so bad, like, crossing my legs, like, walking, and they're, like, standing inside running the numbers of the property. Yeah. And typically I would be there because I like to know rehab and, like, I want to know every step of the project because I'm going to end up listing that property. And I like to tell them, like, no, maybe you don't want to do that layout, whatever. So I walk outside because I can't stop. I got to pee. And it's getting darker. You know, daylight savings is here, so it's getting darker. And I see the neighbor come out, and I'm like, hey, how are you? Because I talk to everybody. And he's like, hey, I'm good. And I'm like, you tell he's just like, doesn't want to talk. And I'm like, how's the neighborhood? You know, how do you like the neighborhood? And he goes, I mean, it's good. There was just a shooting like 2 days ago on the block beside us. And
like
I was
you
like,
just casually
said it. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. And of course, Cary's dumbass goes to the gas station that's like 2 blocks behind us. I had to pee so bad, y'all. So bad. And I had a 45-minute drive home because, mind you, it was like, 45-minute drive home because, mind you, I live in Powhatan.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing this big coat, and I have my concealed carry, and I was like, all right. I look outside, and there's only like one guy with a dog pit bull. There's nobody at the pumps. And I waited a little bit to like scout out the area, like a little bit being 2 minutes, because I couldn't wait much longer. And I was like, all right. I literally said a prayer. I was like, Diosito. I was like, you got me, right?
Wait, one question though. Did you not have a car?
I did have a car.
So you said, but you walked. You said, right?
Yes, because I had to pee so bad. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go.
What do you think?
No, I got in my car and I walked to my car, got in my car, and then drove to the nearest gas station. Okay. And it happened to be like 2 blocks over. So I didn't know if I was in the good area that he said or the bad area. Like, I don't know where I was. I didn't know.
You know, if you don't know, it's probably not a good thing. You're probably the bad area.
Probably. Yeah. Anyways. So I just went. It was getting darker. And so I went inside, and I was like, there's only one guy outside. There's no females, right? There's nobody at the pumps or anything. So, like, there's, like, nobody that could really...
Yeah.
If there was more people, essentially, it'd be a better thing. I walk inside, and there's 4 guys inside. I was like, I'm so screwed. And I just was like, can I use the restroom? Where's the restroom? Looked for the restroom. And it goes out in the back or out down to the whatever.
Wait, like outside?
No, like out down.
Okay.
Out down or whatever. Yeah. And so I start walking, and one of the guys starts following me, and I'm like, why is this man following me? And he keeps following me, and he's following me all the way back, and I like kind of went around the aisle.
Yeah.
I was so scared. I literally so when you have your concealed carry, you have to actually carry it on you when you have your gun on you. So like if I were to pull my gun out and shoot and my concealed carry was in my car, I'm screwed.
Okay.
Like your license has to be on you at all times.
This is the thing though. 5 years in jail is better than being like dead.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Yeah.
But like I was just like a girl, and I'm like in the environment, I'm this little girl, like I'm like, there's 4 guys. There's nobody outside. Yeah. It's dark. I'm in Petersburg. Like, it's stupid to put myself in that position. All because I had to urinate. I should have just peed my...
Sometimes, just do what guys do. Just go in the woods.
There was no woods. We were in a neighborhood.
Oh,
okay. Shit. And the toilet, there was not even... Like, I literally was like, these houses that you rehab, like, they're nasty.
Yeah.
Nasty. Like, I walked in one the other day. There was no stairs. Like, I had to get upstairs, and there was no stairs.
What the fuck? Like inside the house?
Inside the house.
How did you get upstairs there?
I had to put like a piece of plywood between the floor and the top.
Oh, so like there was like the frame for the steps, but there was no steps.
Yeah, like the investor that went in front of me walked and literally fell down the stairs.
Oh shit,
it's crazy. Yeah. Okay, so anyways, I go to the bathroom. I walk to the bathroom. And the guy gets so close to me, mind you, big white guy, like old man. I'm like, oh my, I'm so scared, y'all. I'm shaking. I got my hands. I'm wearing this like big coat. Got both my hands in my pocket.
You're like ready to pull it
like,
out?
Literally, like my hand was not on the trigger, but he opens the door. he opens the door for me to use the bathroom. Oh, that was it. And I'm over here thinking like, this man is following me. This man wants to hurt me. This man's gonna like, I don't know, try to do something to me. And he just opens the door. Thank you. Like, just walked in, sat down. The whole time I'm sitting there, y'all, and I'm like,
wait, so
this is so embarrassing.
Wait, hold on. Wait, are you using the bathroom while he opens it?
No.
I'm confused.
Okay, so like he opens the door for me. I lock the door.
Okay.
I start using the restroom, and I'm like, I'm not sitting on the toilet. I'm squatting, right? I don't sit on the toilet, and I'm just sitting there with the gun in my hand like this. Like if anybody opens this door, it's an embarrassing story ever.
What ended up happening when you like got out of the bathroom? Though?
Got out of the bathroom, got in my car, and what the hell?
He wasn't waiting for you, nothing.
No, nothing happened. But I was so scared. But think about it. You're a girl.
Yeah.
You're alone. There's nobody at the pumps. There's like 4 guys inside. You're the only girl. Like, you're in a not so good area. Somebody just told you there's shootings that happen around here. Like, all of the odds are against you.
You think you would have, if you had to use your gun, you think you'd be able like to
God,
shoot?
I don't even know. I think in the like sometimes in the fear, like just like I think I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do to make it back home though.
I guess
that's what they say at work. Like at work, they're not allowed to like carry guns in their work vehicles. But like the safety guy that runs all of them say like, yo, you know, like I'm not gonna say no. Y'all have to do what y'all have to do to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know the law like that, but I'm pretty sure like you have to feel. So like a gun has to be pointed at you for you to even be legally allowed to like.
There has to be like a threat to.
Yes, like the same amount of threat or the same amount of intimate threat for you to.
Because somebody's punching you and stuff.
It's not enough for you to go and shoot somebody.
It depends. This thing though, you know, one thing people say.
It depends. Oh God.
No, this thing though, if you're getting jumped or something, you might have to.
Yeah. I mean, like at that point, but I think they have to have like the equal amount of force or threat or whatever.
One thing my coworkers say, because they're big into guns, they say like if you're in that situation, you got to shoot somebody, make sure you kill them, because all it takes. This thing though, if you go, let's just say they pull a knife on you, right? You go to court, and they say they didn't pull a knife on you. It's their word against yours.
That's for sure.
And they win every time.
That's for sure. Okay. So many people get away with so many different things.
Yeah.
And it's all because it's not about what happened. It's who tells the best story.
Yeah.
Who can paint the better picture. There's no, like, when you don't have evidence because things happen, it's all about who paints the best picture.
That's why you just got to kill them. And there's no one to tell the story. It's just you defending yourself.
I can't believe I'm laughing at that. That's horrible. Anyways.
No, I'm saying that you gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, that was one of your questions.
Question time. Let's see.
All right, let's do it.
Let's see.
What is your worst habit?
Worst habit.
Today. Okay, my toxic trait. Worst habit is staying up late.
Okay.
And like working late. My toxic trait is buying outfits because I have a trip.
Buying outfits because you have a trip.
I'm like, okay, so I'm going to Michigan next week. So I'm like, well, I got to go buy some clothes for it. I have clothes in my closet. And then I'm like, well, I'm going to Cabo in March, so I got to buy clothes for that too.
What do you think? You go buy the clothes over there?
No, like I buy clothes for that trip.
That sounds bougie. I don't have that type of money, you know.
I shouldn't be doing that. I think that's a bad habit. I feel like every time you take a trip, you got to buy clothes. I don't know.
No, if I want to spend money, I'll probably just buy like something from the merch, like the shop. You know, like little gift shops.
Oh yeah.
I might bring a little like shot glass, but that's about it.
That's funny.
But what's like one of the biggest challenges you see happening in real estate, like in the next few years?
Okay, so I don't know if you heard about this. I think this is the biggest thing is everybody talks about commission and pay, but buyers agents commissions are going to be going away. So
wait, what's that?
Buyers agents. So you represent a buyer. So if you were buying your house, I'm representing you. I'm a buyer's agent. Selling agent is the person selling the house.
You do both though, right?
Yeah. Okay. You can do both in the state of Virginia. You can actually legally represent both parties in the state of Virginia. But let's say you work with a buyer, you start showing them homes, you show them 27 properties, you spend all your gas, all this stuff, and like you don't get paid for that. If the seller doesn't want to pay you, you don't get paid for all that time that you spent running comps for them, that you spent on the phone with them, that you spent showing them properties, that you spent sending them properties, that you spent driving out, the gas, the depreciation on your car, the mileage.
You can't charge them. Or,
you could essentially charge your client,
but they may not want to pay you. They'll go to somebody else.
They may not want to pay you. They're just gonna be like, no. Like, we already have a down payment to pay for, closing costs to pay for. Like, we don't want to accumulate extra costs because you want $7,000 or you feel like you're entitled to $7,000. And if they pay you, they're not going to pay you what $7,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's going to be very rare to find a client that already has to bring that much money to closing and then be like, I mean, yeah, I guess I can whip out another $7,000 for you. Or I guess I can whip out another 3%.
So, did it used to be a requirement?
Never was really a requirement or like a standard of any certain amount. It's just like it's what is essentially expected.
Okay,
I guess.
You know how you said in Virginia you can be both the representative for like the buyer and the seller?
Yeah, you can do dual representation.
In other states, is that like a conflict of interest?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then even in Virginia it can be. Like if you're as agents, a lot of agents, and this is where people really begin to make money because people think that you really just make money off of selling homes, and that's not true. So because you're one person, there's only so much that you can juggle as one person. Like you might only be able to juggle 6 clients at one time. But you have to have other streams of income. You know how people make money? When you start to make 6 figures or really start to make 6-7 figures, you have like 7 streams of income.
That's what they say.
That's what you need. You don't put all your eggs into one basket. Yeah. So you have to, maybe as an agent, like you'll have, like, I wrote my goals down on my mirror last night and it made me uncomfortable.
It made you uncomfortable?
Yes.
Wait, that's a good thing though.
Yes.
Because it gives you something to reach for.
I know.
Yeah.
But it made me uncomfortable. It says like you got to have different streams. So like maybe it's just sales, transactions, flipping, and rentals.
Yeah.
Title shares.
What's that?
Title shares is like once you give a certain or settlement company like a title company is like a closing company, right?
Yeah.
And you send all your closings to them. So then they back pay you for what you send to them. So like they'll give you like shares in the company because you send them all your business.
Okay.
So now you're making money off of your transactions that you already have to do on the title side as well.
Okay.
So sometimes you have to sign like disclosures or certain lenders can't do that, or like it's a violation of RESPA. So like certain kickbacks and stuff like that.
So yeah. Is that like a way to sell your data, like real estate data, or
real estate business, like your book of data? Yeah, pretty much your book of business, your data. Okay. Yeah, data is everything, man. If you could like start getting people's numbers now, I would.
What are some of the, when you're negotiating a price, right? And if you are the representative for the buyer and the seller, is there like times where, actually, no, that's a bad way to word it, because that would have put you on the spot. Like
word it. Nah,
I'm saying like
do it.
Like, is there certain situations where you have to either favor the buyer or the seller in order to close the deal?
And that's the reason why dual representation is so hard, because how can I represent my seller and be like,
try to get the most money?
I'm going to try to get you the most, and then equally represent the buyer and be like, here's what you want to say. I know his bottom number is 545 and it's listed for 580. So we need just offer 585. I know he'll take it. Like 545. I know he'll take it. That's not representing the seller. That's representing the buyer, because you're negotiating for the buyer. But then you tell the seller, so they came in low. So, we should just tell them we're not going to fix anything on the inspection. And then you tell them it's very hard. Very, very hard.
Because like in that case, you could put yourself in a situation where the deal may not want to be closed.
Absolutely.
But like you're a realtor, you want the deal to close. So
100%.
In one way or another, you have to favor one side.
100%. Right? And your fiduciary duty is to your client. Like that's what you do. Like your fiduciary duty is to your client. You have no idea how many calls I've gotten from agents in this market, in this industry, in Richmond, Virginia, that say things like, I messed up. I lied to my seller.
Damn.
That's your fiduciary duty. Like, what?
But like at the same time though, like who do you think is more important in that situation? Who do you think people favor the most, the buyer or the seller? Because the seller, I mean, this thing, like, I feel like the seller could sell the house to multiple buyers, but the buyer, if you're representing one buyer, you can't just go represent another buyer. So do you favor the buyer a little bit more than the seller?
As an agent, you want to be a listing agent. You want to be a selling agent. You don't want to be a buyer's agent. Because, like, when you list a house, like, you put the house on the market, you do the marketing for it, you do the open houses, you make sure you get the right photography, you put it on social media, you wait for showings to come in. Okay. You're not showing the property unless it's luxury. You're not showing the property. You're not writing the offer. Yeah. You literally just wait for your phone to ring, but you need to be marketing that property. There's still work that needs to be done. I'm not saying just put the house on the market and wait for your phone to ring.
This is one question I got. Like, if you go, like, I've seen some of your videos, you go, like, make videos for certain properties that you're, like, you can say advertising.
You see my videos?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's on your page, you know?
Yeah,
but is there could other realtors go and make that same video and also market that property?
100%.
So there's
some
no
people
way,
ask for permission, some people just don't.
So, there's no way to, like, is there a way people, like, maybe your team could own the rights to the sale of that house? Is that a thing?
Yes.
That is a thing?
You're the listing. If you're the listing agent, you're listing that property. You're selling that property. You own the right to sell that property. But at any given time, and I tell my clients this, I literally tell buyers and sellers, and agents look at me and they call me crazy. You're like, you told your buyers that? And I'm like, 100%. I told them, I want you to interview other agents. Yeah. I want you to see what my competition is. And I want you to decide if I'm worth your business. Like,
do they ever decide to go with somebody else?
I've never had somebody decide to go with somebody else. Good. Never. I have lost a client. God, what did I lose that client? I did lose a client actually recently.
Really? How?
Yeah, like 2 months ago. This is a referral to my lender sent me this client, and I lost the client.
Oh, damn. But how is it, like, losing a client a big deal, or do you have, like, a lot of more?
I mean, you just lost like $6,000. Yeah, that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, that is good hit.
Yeah, you lose like a whole commission. You lose the client entirely.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Never mind, I'm not going to say that. It's too soon.
How many agents are at your team?
How many agents do we have on our team? Oh, my gosh.
Wait, do you do real estate as well? Oh, okay, so you're on the team. Okay.
Yeah. How many agents are on a team? I think we have like 12, 10 agents. Now, there's bigger teams, though. I mean, I've heard of agents. EXP within itself is like, oh my gosh, we're so large. Keller Williams is like the number one team, number one company, biggest team.
You said Kyler Williams?
Keller Williams.
Keller Williams, okay.
Yeah, but besides that, I mean, EXP is a really, really big company. God, I don't know where we're at on chart, but we do well. We do well.
Have you ever had like a client with a weird request, like they want like a secret room or like a underground bunker or something like that?
No, nothing crazy like that. I mean, I've heard of crazy stories, but I've never had anything like that. My clients are pretty chill. You know what they say? Like, good people attract good people.
Yeah. What's like, this is one question I got. I don't know if there's like a situation you got, but like, what's the funniest situation you've had while selling a house? Or like, maybe like, or probably like the house with a weird backstory behind it. Like a couple murders or something. Is that like a thing?
Y'all, the bathroom story. My God. That was so weird. Oh, I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. No. When you're dealing with like closing deals and stuff, right? Or like negotiating. How do you deal with lowball offers? How often do you get lowball offers?
All the time.
Yeah.
Literally got one today, yesterday, like all the time. Because especially the stuff that I'm doing for investments. Yeah. So when you make money on an investment property, your money is made on the buy when you buy that house. It's not made when you sell it. It's made when you buy it. If you bought it for the right price, you will make the right amount of money. Okay. So every investor knows that. Money's made on the buy. So buy for the right price. So everybody obviously wants to negotiate low ball. I think my client was asking for $150 on this house.
$150? That's cheap.
Yeah, it's in Richmond. It was a little house. Cheap. It's a little house. It needed to be rehabbed. It was a good rental. Okay. Or a good numbers didn't. I mean, it makes sense for a flip if you bought it for the right price. But I think I got an offer for like $70K.
On a $150,000 house?
Yeah.
You laugh at that?
I just told him, I was like, well, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Definitely not going to work for my client. Yeah. But I legally have to legally have to run it by her. So I'll let her know. But I don't typically like to speak for someone, but that's definitely not what she's looking for.
So you're kind of like a lawyer in a way, right?
That's cool. What it sounds like. See, here's the thing. I feel like, and this is why not a lot of people can become agents. Because you got a freaking temper. You take your emotion out of it. You are the professional here. You're the only person that is not allowed to have emotion. The person selling, that's their baby. That's their house. Like, you come in and disrespect them. A seller would have been like, man, F you and your mama, yada, 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 and like gone off on you and be like, that's disrespectful. I just not, and I'm in this like long term. Like I want to be in this industry. This is my career. Like this isn't like I'm not just in to make a couple bucks. Like if I already hit my goal for 2023. Like
if this house is like, can I take a guess like what the total revenue sales was?
Oh, I mean, like I hit my money amount. I'm like a money person. I'm like, how much money do I want to make? That, and then I just get there.
Like total houses sold, was it like $5 million?
Yeah. I sold over 5 million.
Okay, damn.
Yeah,
that's a lot. But
yeah,
that's like. That's like maybe 10 houses?
What's 3% of 5 million? Oh, no, 3%. Not in Virginia. In
3%
Virginia?
of 5 million is...
I don't know.
Is that 300,000?
Mm-hmm. I have no idea, but that would make sense.
Oh, so if you don't know, I mean, you're probably making a good amount of money.
$150,000.
Oh, that's not bad though.
Yeah, that's essentially I made a little bit less than that because you pay like a split.
Yeah.
But like that's what you would make. So
you're
entitled to that 3%, 2.5.
What's your favorite like I don't know, like tax write off or investments? Like do you also do real
car.
Estate? A car? That's not an investment.
That's a write off. That's a tax write off.
Okay, it's a write off.
Clothes, cars, bag.
That's real smart.
No, my favorite write off has been purchasing my house, and like the money that I poured into my house, and I'm so excited because I'm almost done with the project. And I mean, the average American in the U.S. today, their salary is like $56,000 a year, and if God allows it, I will make over $56,000 on that house when I sell it.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
but like
that's the power of flipping.
This thing, but like, would you want to sell the house? Because you like,
I want to sell it.
Really?
I don't want to keep it.
Why?
Because I make more long term. You always want to keep.
Yeah.
But I need that money. I want that money. I will take that money. I will take that 56 and I'll buy 4 good small rentals.
Okay. But like if you were to hold that house for, I don't know, like 20 years and just hold that to like, I don't know, keep it for your kids.
Oh man, it'll definitely be worth something. That whole area is already being developed. Like there's new construction going for 5s. Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, I'm not trying to like say what you should do because I don't know, but like you're making a good amount of money. You do think it'll be smarter?
But I borrowed money from my dad, so I got to pay off my dad.
Yeah,
so then I'd have to like I don't know how I'd have to. I don't even know if the numbers would make sense for that. I didn't even think of that as an exit strategy.
But like let's say I don't know, somebody that doesn't have as much money. I don't know. Let's just say somebody that has I don't
have that much money.
But like somebody that wants to buy a house, looking for a house, but is not like in the best financial situation. How do you go about like finding them a house? Do you automatically like show them like houses in the ghetto or?
No, bro. Like, there's so many. I think people have this idea that, like, you have to have $40K or something to buy your house or it's 20% down. Like, it's really not. Again, it's like you don't know what you don't know. Like, if you want to buy a house, reach out to me, reach out to somebody and just say, like, hey, I'm thinking about buying. I'm probably not in the position to buy right now. I still live at home. I'm in school.
Yeah.
I don't even have a job. You don't know what you don't know, find out. Maybe there's grants for kids for people who are at school and your parents can co-sign because they make good money and they can co-sign for you and can already start building equity on a house. Like,
so, let's just say, good example, me. Like, I don't make much money at all, right? I probably right now, probably make, I don't know, probably like 35 a year, 38. Well, I can't buy a house though, right?
You could. I mean.
What house could I buy?
Okay, you make $38,000 a year. Okay, roughly. I'm not a lender. Let me stop saying
I like 35. I don't know.
Okay, so you make like roughly $35,000 a year.
Yeah,
are you 1099 or are you W-2?
I just disclosed that I'm broke, but 1099 W-2. That's like, do I work or self-employed?
Mm-hmm. So 1099 is self-employed. Yeah. And then W-2 is like you work for an employer, like you work
W-2 I'm gonna have to go 1099 soon because I'm starting to charge people for this. But
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're working for who right now?
Woodfin. I do.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You told me that. Okay, so Woodfin is paying you. You work for them. You've kept a steady job. Do you get any overtime?
Not anymore because it's been we haven't had enough work to get overtime.
Okay, but if you have overtime, as long as you have it for 12 months, and it depends on the loan. I'm just speaking for like a typical like FHA loan, or conventional. And different loans require different stipulations. So like FHA's first time home buyer, you can get grants. It's a 3.5% down, 3% closing costs. Conventional is like 5.5% down.
Yeah.
The VA is 100% financing. Like you don't even have to put anything down when you buy your house. You just have to have your closing costs, and you can ask your seller to cover these things. So like, let's say you have no money, okay, but you can get pre-approved. Or let's say your down payment closing costs on a $200,000 house is like, I don't know, what's 6% of 200,000? So it's, or 6.5% of 200,000. I don't know.
It's like, I don't know, 30,000. I may be wrong.
Let's say your closing costs, your cash to close, like you need 30 grand to buy this house and get to the closing table.
Uh-huh.
All right, the house has been on the market for a little bit. Maybe we can negotiate it. We tell the seller, hey, we'll buy your house for 30 grand over because I know the house will appraise because I ran the comps.
Yeah.
But you give me $30,000 in closing costs so I can buy this house. So they give you the money.
You know, when people, you know, I don't know, this is maybe like a thing realtors say. I always know if realtors, real estate agents, they always say, now is the perfect time to buy. But let me get that. Do they say that because it benefits them because they need houses to sell in order to make money? Or?
I have never done that. And I literally had a client call me and try to sell their like almost $1 million property, and I told them don't sell it right now.
How come?
Because it wasn't the right time for them to sell.
You think they could get more?
I just don't think that a person looking at $1 million house is gonna buy. A person looking at $1 million house obviously has money, right?
Yeah.
And they're financially smart because they had to be financially smart to make $1 million to be able to afford $1 million house. If you're buying $1 million house, why would you buy when interest rates are like at 8%?
Yeah.
You would just wait because you have the money to be able to wait, or you can put yourself in a position where you can go rent for a little bit or whatever. Like you're not going to lock into that percentage unless like you're getting divorced or you had a death or you're getting a bigger family, whatever. So there are reasons why people buy regardless of the rate, right? And then you just refinance later. But I do think that while rates were high, I would have 110% purchased because I knew that rates, if they got higher, well, great, you're still at an 8%. And then if they got lower, you can just refinance.
You know, that's a question I got because I know, like, I have a coworker that bought a house. I think he got a 30-year loan on it. So
that's
this
standard.
I think he said the interest rate on it is like 6.5.
Recently? This is recent then.
It was I think it was like 5 months ago.
Okay, yeah.
So, but there's one thing he said, like, by the time he finishes paying it off with the interest rate in 30 years, I think that house he said he paid like $300 for it. He said by the time he'll be paying like almost $850, $900 by the time. So how do the interest rates work like in payments? How does that like? Because more people pay interest than what the house is worth.
Are you really going to take 30 years to pay off the house though?
I don't know, but like.
I figured like you get a bonus, you pop it on your house, or rates go down, you refinance it. Then that lowers how much you're actually going to pay on the house.
So like let's just say if I were to have a house, right, and I have a 7% interest rate on it, and I pay it off, I don't know, if it's a 25-year loan and I pay it off in 10, I don't pay as much interest on it, right? Repeat
that again. You have a 30-year loan.
20-year loan. I don't know, something like that. And I pay it off in 10 years.
Yeah. So you can do 30 or 15 and you pay it off in 10, then you don't pay all that interest on it because you paid it off faster. Interest is the amount of time. The interest that you pay is based off of how long you take to pay it. You know what I'm saying? If you take 30 years, you're going to pay more interest. You pay 10, 15, you're going to pay less.
You know, what do you think has to happen in order for like houses to get affordable again? Because this is one thing I say. Well, this is how I see it, right?
That's a loaded question.
I'm 18. A lot of people when they're 18, they're like, I got to move out and stuff, right? Before, not to get political or anything, right? But when Trump was in office, if I want to move out,
Daddy Trump.
You know, I personally, I like Trump. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of Hispanics don't.
I can't say anything.
A lot of Hispanics don't. I like him, right? But like when Trump was in office, I could move out if I wanted to. Now I can't. But like I feel like it's too expensive. How long do you think until for like there's like a little
I think
like
it's only gonna get worse. Like I really only think that things are gonna get more expensive. I think that the economy is gonna just get higher and higher and higher. I think that DC is expensive. I think Richmond will become the next DC, and I think Petersburg will become the next Richmond within 5 years.
That makes sense. Petersburg is.
That's what I'm telling you. Like, that's where you would invest in right now. That's the time to invest. Like, all these people that bought these like houses for $16,000, $20,000 like 5-10 years ago in Petersburg can upsell them right now for like $120K. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then like 5 years, that house will be worth a lot more, right?
Okay, so like I bought my house for $240, and like 2-3 years ago for $240,000. I ran the comps the other night. I think I could probably list it. I want to sell it quick, so I'm going to list it right. I'm going to list it right below average. I'm already going to profit some money, so I'm going to list it not super high to sell it quickly. Probably list it like $315, $330.
Okay.
That's almost $100,000 for whatever. That's $100,000 profit.
And you know when you sell a house,
when
you sell, let's say like you sell a house, is that counted as capital gains tax or?
When you sell a house, is that counted as capital?
Profit?
Yeah, but it depends on how long you've lived in the house and so forth. Yeah.
You know, when you first bought your house, you used your FHA, right?
So my husband was military, so we used his VA loan.
Okay.
So we didn't even put anything down. Like we just paid our closing costs, and I think we asked the seller to pay for some of it.
So right when you use your FHA, I can't sell or rent the house until I live in there for a year, right? Or
Yeah. So FHA, you have to legally live in the house for 12 months or 9 months. 9 or 12 months. And again, I'm not a lender, so like ask lenders these things because there may be ways around it or whatever. But yeah, standard of like 9 to 12 months. Even with a conventional loan too, you have to live in it for like 9 months.
You know, what do you think what like affects the real estate market the most? Because there's like wars or like inflation.
100%, I think.
Even wars? Okay.
I mean, no, you got to think like the debt of our country would go into, and like what the real estate market is affected by the economy. Like that's such a broad question.
It goes hand in hand with everything, right?
Yeah, honestly, with everything. Yeah. Like, even the seasons, like seasonal depression, like in January.
Really?
Yeah.
So, that's another question I had.
Like, January is the slowest, like, January is probably the slowest month.
That's the next question I had, like, the slowest time of the year.
Yeah, and now, theoretically speaking, it may be slow for, like, majority of people, but it could be. I also hear agents say, I've heard a couple agents say, especially top producers, too, say December is their biggest month.
Because of tax season?
Maybe, possibly.
Right,
could be. They got to buy stuff before the end of the year. Yeah, it's possible. 100%.
You know, what's like the best time of the year?
I say May, June. That's right at that spring markets. People start to come in, and then right at that summer market, right when kids get out of school, like June, May is like when everybody's like got to move before the end of the like right at the end of school year, summer, and they got to make sure they're in this different school system or same school systems or whatever it be. You know, like summer market is like the hottest market of the year.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But you know, is there like something I haven't asked that like has to do with real estate that maybe like I haven't brought up? Something that I've not brought up, interest rates.
Something you should know if you're a buyer buying in this market right now. And you mentioned like real estate agents always saying right now is the time to buy. I personally think it's a time to buy when you're ready. Whenever you and your family are ready. Whenever it makes sense for you guys. But don't indebt yourself if you can't buy right now.
But if you think about it, it's almost every time you feel like you are ready, it's almost like a risky like jump to make because you never know if it is a good time, like market-wise, right?
That's like when people say, I want to have a kid, but I don't know if I'm ready.
There's never a right time to have a kid. There's never a right
time.
That makes sense.
Like when you think you're the most ready. You know what I'm saying? When you're like, okay, all right, we have $7,000 in savings. I think we can make this work. We can use 5, keep 2 in savings, and we can ask the seller to cover the other 5. You know, like you don't think that you have to have all this money in savings to buy a house. Just start somewhere. Just start. Like Nike, just do it. Seriously, just talk to somebody. Take the first step, because it may be that you're in a lease. Your lease ends next year in June, and your credit is a little wonky.
So how do you, if you have that credit, how do you go about getting a house?
As long as you have over 580, you can qualify. Now, there's a lot of things that go into that.
Okay.
So your credit qualifications are when buying a house are in a couple factors. One being your DTI, which is debt to income. How much debt you have, how many car loans, credit cards you have, and how much money you make monthly. Debt to income. Your payment history. How many late payments are you on, right? Yeah. And then what you make a year, right? You make more, you qualify for more. You make less, you qualify for less. Yeah. There's got to be another one that I'm forgetting. And then I think people think, well, I've only had credit for 2 years. I think all you need is 6 months. A credit score for 6 months.
Okay, so as long as you have like a score.
And job stability. Yes, as long as you have a score, 6 months, and then job stability. Like you can't be hopping. Do not. I think this is probably the biggest thing for young people.
What?
Do not be hopping from job to job, man.
Okay, yeah.
You cannot be like, I'm going to work at boutique, and then I'm going to work at McDonald's, and then I'm going to work at Food Lion.
They want to see like consistency.
Stability, consistency. Okay. If you work overtime, like make sure you're dotting that down. If you're a waiter, if you're a server right now, if you're in school, if you're listening to this, like you need to be depositing that cash regularly into your account.
All right, you know, I have a question because there was a stripper on here not too long ago. So she told me she doesn't report any of her income.
Ooh.
Let's say if she wanted to buy a house,
she better have.
But she had
$300K.
She got money.
$347K. She got $347K.
I don't know if she got $300K, right? But like,
well, that's what she gonna need because she don't report anything. How are you gonna buy a house? You don't work.
But like, if she has, let's just say if I walk up to you, I want to buy a house. I have, I don't know, $100K to put down on a house, cash. I don't have anything reported to it. Is that a possibility?
Repeat that again. I'm sorry.
Like if I had $100K to come buy a house.
I don't
have anything reported like on my taxes. There's no like I report that income and I want to buy a house, am I allowed to, or would you think I'm a drug dealer or something?
It might not be a QM, which is what we call a qualified mortgage loan, which would be like an FHA, like a government issued loan. It might be something that's like more private, so like a DSCR, where you would put like 20% down, or like if you're buying an investment property, like it would work. Yeah. Sometimes banks, like especially with amounts like that, like they need to see the money in your account for over 2 months at least. Okay. And they want to know where it came from or something. Sometimes, but there's things you can do. Like this is what I mean is I'm like talk to a lender, because sometimes people will screw things up without knowing it. Like people will literally go and buy a house. And then get literally put in an offer, be down, and then go and buy a car, and then they just screwed everything up, and now they can't buy the house.
You know, my parents, when they bought their house here, so that year was a big year for my parents, because my dad bought like like $100,000 truck. But that's one thing he did. He bought the house first.
Your parents got money.
And then the same. No, they don't. They don't.
$100,000 truck.
Well.
That's like a Denali.
My dad has a business, but you know how business.
All right, so the business bought the truck. Got it.
You know how business
pays for it. Even though still his money. Okay, yeah.
Let's just say that's why I like Trump, because when Trump was there, business
Daddy Trump.
Business was booming. Business not booming as much as But
what does your dad do?
He does construction. He does basement waterproofing.
Okay.
And exterior waterproofing and stuff like that.
Okay, cool.
But so he bought the house first. Say month after, I think he bought the truck, because if he had bought the truck before,
that would have affected how much he was going to qualify to make the house. Think about it.
Okay.
If that a payment on 100, okay, so 7-year loan, so do 100,000 divided by 7 years, so do 52 weeks times 7 to find out how many. Do the math.
Yeah.
How much are you going to be paying monthly on a $100,000 truck? It's probably like $1,500. Yeah. 1,500. That $1,500, I literally pay $1,200. For my house. Yeah, my mortgage. My rate is low.
But let me guess, you got like a 2%?
Yeah. We got like a 2%. So that truck is $1,500 a month. My mortgage is $1,200 a month.
Okay.
So I would have totally disqualified if I had bought that truck and then bought my house.
Because it's like the same value, if not probably even a little bit more, right?
Yeah, but it's essentially, that's like, that truck is probably like a 7-year loan, because you can get, 84 months or something like that.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, that affects your DTI, debt to income. Okay. You have to make that payment on that truck.
That makes sense.
When you could be pouring it into your house. You can afford more house.
Well, what's like the biggest lesson you've learned since, actually, biggest lesson you learned in your life?
Live your life for you, not for others. Live your life for you. Everything you do, don't make rushed decisions. 90% of the time, if you make a rushed decision, it's not the right one.
Yeah.
90% of the time, if it's rushed, it's not the right one.
Do you think sometimes, though, you got to like just, like, what I'm saying earlier, there's not like a right time. Sometimes you just have to go for it, though? Yeah,
sometimes you do. Yeah. You do. I don't think you should live your life in fear of like, what's going to happen, or am I going to be able to do this? Or am I going to be, you're going to fall. You're going to fail.
One thing I say, the hardest part is starting, though.
The hardest part is starting.
Yeah.
The hardest part is starting. But what I mean as in like live your life for you is like take the time to find out like, what does Brian want? Where does Brian see himself 5 years, 10 years down the road?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then take those steps, take those actions, regardless of what the world around you or your parents or your aunt and uncle, tia and tío, padrinos, whatever says. What does Brian want? Because nobody has to wake up and put your shoes on and walk out that door.
This is the thing. My parents are like, I don't know how your parents are, but traditional Hispanic parents, like they want you to go to college.
That pressure, I think this is literally why I'm saying what I'm saying. Because my dad bought me a brand new car every single year.
Wait, what?
A brand new car every single year.
So, like, why? What was wrong with the car? Why did you need a new one?
I gave it back to him because everything was conditioned, with a condition. I'll give you this car, but you're gonna study to be an engineer and not what it is that you want to be.
But they do that just because they want you to.
They want what's best for you. But Brian, they don't gotta wake up and live for you every single day. They don't gotta get up and go to engineer school every single day and bust your freaking balls to study all night and be an engineer.
See, my parents, I told my parents,
that's the pressure.
They wanted me to go to college. My sister, but this is one thing I say, college is not for everybody.
It's not.
You have to know yourself, because I know I'm not a college person. I'm not going to go waste my time and their money. Mm-hmm. They pressured my sister. My sister went for it. She wasted like a semester. I didn't want to like, I didn't want to wish her the worst, but I knew she wasn't a scholar, like college person. So I knew it was going to end up like that.
But she had to do it. You know, she'd probably learn something from it, and everything happens for a reason, right?
Yeah.
But but that's the pressure. You see what I'm saying? Like, and I don't even think this is just Hispanic. Like, I think this is like immigrant families in general, like first generation, especially that first generation, like that stuff is crazy. Like, this is gonna sound sensitive, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, but like, I think if you're first generation. And you're first generation to do anything, whether you be first generation to go to college, get married, have kids, not have kids, or whatever, God be with you. Pray hard. I pray for you because it's a different pressure. It's a different level. You start to live your life for other people and what other people want for you and what they want or what they think is best for you when they don't know you. Like, you know,
that's bring that up. What do you think has been like having a kid at a young age? What do you think like that, like kind of like shifted your mindset? Like, how did that like change your perspective?
That I don't regret at all. That I think being a parent is probably literally the best thing you can do for yourself.
How do you think your life changed though? Like your mindset, your perspective on life?
So my mindset in being a parent is being the parent I wish I had. And it's a beautiful thing because I get to be the person that I want to be for my kids. And it's on me.
You have 2 sons, 2 daughters?
So I have a little 2-year-old toddler, Easton, John Easton. And then I've got my 7-month-old girl, Milena.
Oh, okay, that's good. You got both.
I got the match, La Parejita.
Yeah, because there's parents that like they're on the 3rd kid, all daughters, they want the son. But no,
that I don't encourage.
Yeah, but
you want that gender so bad, you have so many kids.
And it's good that you have kids, especially as a first generation, because I feel like if you're first generation, it's almost disrespectful in a way to not have kids because you want to have the bloodline.
100%.
That's how I see it.
Yeah, but don't have kids just to keep.
No, you gotta be ready.
No, and also, like, I know people say like don't buy a house if you're not financially stuff like that, but if you're not making 6 figures and you got 2 kids, like, I don't recommend it. I just don't. I don't see how it's selfish a little bit to put your kids through that. Personally, y'all are going to call me crazy. I'm going to get canceled for this. It's going to be bad.
I guess.
I just think.
That's the smart way. But sometimes, kids are not planned.
Yeah, kids are not planned. And money's not everything. Like, people be like, oh, don't be money hungry. Money's not everything. It's not. Money doesn't matter, but it sure as hell buys everything that does matter.
Name me one thing in this room that does not cost money.
Yeah, but
that's
okay. So, all right. Money in itself does not have power, but it controls everything that does. It controls your lifestyle, it controls your kids' healthcare, it controls what school they go to, it controls their level of education, it controls your level of education, it controls what food you're putting in are you eating McDonald's processed food all the time and that's what you're giving your kids because that's what you can afford? Or are you cooking organic, home-cooked meals because you can hire somebody to make that for you?
That's true. No, I mean, that's how life goes, though.
Yeah.
Especially in this economy.
100%. Yeah. And it's only going to get worse, so.
Oh, yeah. Question time. And then I'll have the final question that I ask everybody.
Okay. Sun looks like it was a little worn out, so.
Let's see.
What are you afraid of?
Dudes at the gas station?
Oh, man. What are you afraid of? Oh my gosh, why are these questions so hard?
There's some harder ones in there.
What are
you could repick.
Okay, let's
You can repick.
I don't have, I would say nothing, but like there's, I don't know.
Hopefully it's a fun question.
Hopefully it's a funny question, yeah.
That looks a little worn out.
This one looks
so it's up to you though.
This is a long one. Okay. Oh, this is an easy one. Okay, which of your 5 senses would you get rid of and why? Touch.
What? Why?
Because I don't need to touch everything.
It's touch, hear, smell, see. What's the 5th one?
Hold on, you just said them all. I don't need to touch everything. Like, I want to see everything. I want to hear everything.
Oh, hear, that's the 5th one. Okay. Yeah, actually, touch.
Touch is easy. That's an easy one.
What
are you most afraid of? Oh, my gosh. I don't know.
Well, lastly.
Fear, failure? I don't know.
Cary, I appreciate you for coming on. Is there something you want to talk about that we haven't talked about?
No.
Covered everything, right?
Yeah, we covered all the bases.
Lastly, before, I just want the question to ask everybody that comes on here. But if you had the chance to give the whole world a message, what would it be?
You're not a kind person because people are kind to you. You're a kind person because that's who you are. You're a kind person. Don't be kind because people are kind to you. Be kind because you choose kindness. that'll keep the world going.
Yeah, I mean, that's the first time somebody, usually everybody else says, like, believe in yourself, like stuff like that. But that's the first time I've heard that one.
No, just be kind.
Yep. Well, Cary, I appreciate you a lot for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for watching. We out. Later.
See ya.